from THT and Dwight specifically, and how did that impact the game tonight?
Well, those guys are huge, a big part of the win. Talon in particular. Obviously since he's come back from COVID, you've seen this throughout the league. Guys coming back from COVID, varying different levels of symptoms, and their bodies don't feel right, and some guys jump right back into it, and some guys struggle for a few games, and we've seen that both with Dwight in his first 2 games back, and then Talon, has been struggling, and we knew it was just a matter of time before he was going to break out and become himself again. And he was terrific, not just scoring the basketball, but I thought his defense was really good and a big part of us winning those backup minutes. So strong performance by both.
And Frank, just wondered what you thought from Russ, who kind of took more shots, was a little bit more aggressive. Assists were low, but had 0 turnovers. You guys have 5 total. How do you square all that as to how it impacted the game?
Russ is really invested in this team. You know that? And he's not always perfect, but he really cares. He really wants to do the right thing, and I was really proud of a bounce-back performance. After having a high turnover night last game, and coming out having 0 turnovers tonight. That's a great exhibit of ball security. Which I challenged our team, not just Russ. I challenged our team to be better with ball security, and it's a big part of the win.
Frank, Malik had several huge shots down the stretch, at 24 tonight. What has he shown you during this stretch, where it's not only just the scoring, but it's also the efficiency? I think he's been over 50% in 5 or 6 straight games, and just his ability to make timely plays alongside LeBron.
Yeah, well, he's always live. He's always a threat, and I like his, for the most part, his shot selection. And, the decisions that he's making with the basketball, he's doing a great job, delivering the ball to Bron, rolling. That combination has been really good for us. And, he's shooting shots that he knows he can make, so the efficiency is pretty high. And, obviously he's always live. And, the more he's producing, his minutes are going up and up. And, a big part of this little mini win streak we have going.
Frank, with Russ, the swings sometimes feel just so dramatic, where it's like, a 9 turnover game immediately followed by a 0 turnover game, or a 4 for 20 game followed by a really efficient game, an air ball followed by, have you kind of figured out as a coach how to sort of ride the wave of those swings with him? And have you gained any insight into why it kind of goes that way with him as a player?
No, it's tough to say. I think when Russ just, he obviously, the relentlessness that he plays the game with, has always been a real positive for him. But it does get him in trouble from time to time. So, channeling that and, slowing down at the right times, to be under control at the right times, bodes well for him when he does it, and then picking those spots, to be relentless, attacking the basket and whatnot. And, that's just part of his game. That's why he's a winner. And, that's part of coaching Russ and part of him getting integrated on this year's team. We believe in him. We're invested in him, and he was a big part of the win tonight.
With just over 5 minutes left, you guys scored on 9 straight possessions to kind of flip that game. What were you getting on offense down that stretch, and what was the difference?
Just getting the shot we want. Not just that, we did a good job getting stops when we needed to, stops at the right time. Especially under the last 3 minutes or so. They made some tough shots, but we still got some big stops.
And then, Russ, no turnovers for you tonight. The team only had 5. You had mentioned after last game that could be a point of emphasis for you guys, but how were you able to execute that tonight?
Just make it easy reads.
Mike asked my question, so I'm good.
Russ, normally you guys get offense from the bench from Carmelo, but tonight it was from Talon and Dwight. How big was that for you guys to have those 2 guys step up like that?
It was big. Dwight was big. He hadn't played in a while. Tonight did a good job of using his size in the paint, rebounding the ball at a high level, protecting the paint. And Taylor did a good job of finishing, taking his time, which was big for us tonight.
Russ, against Minnesota, you guys stayed small, and tonight countered with Dwight. Just what's your what's your feel for where this team is in terms of the versatility of the roster and the ability to adjust and kind of, like you always say, figure it out?
Yeah, I think it's a unique. We got a unique group, and guys always say we're professionals. Dwight's been in the league some time, and we're playing small for a little bit, but tonight his number was called, and that may change next game. You never know. That's up to the coaches. But one thing I like about our group is we're ready to play. Everybody's always ready. The next man up mentality, and tonight was one of those nights.
Russ, without looking it up, I assume this 5 turnovers for the team is a season low. When you have a night like you had tonight, taking care of the ball, how do you feel that trickles down to the rest of the group?
I think it should help. Being that we had a season low 5. I don't know if that's realistic, but it shows that when we put our mind to it, we can do it as a team.
Kind of the other night, we asked you about kind of your numbers and stuff like that, and you told us that doesn't predicate how I play.
Yep.
Do you think some of the plays on the stretch tonight, a couple forced turnovers, stuff like that, is that the stuff you were talking about in that moment? And
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, if you watch the game, and not saying that you don't, but people outside of here that if you don't watch the full game and just look at the stat sheet, then you're not really sure on what actually happens in the game, whether it's offensive rebounds, whether it's defensive styles being in the right spot, doing things, other things that impact winning, then you wouldn't know. So that is definitely what I was talking about.
to follow up a little bit on that, we've talked to you about guys, you getting used to playing with this new team and stuff like that, but what about the other side of that street? Guys having to get used to how you play, and I guess where do you think the team is on that sort of front?
They're probably all over the place because it just varies because my job changes every night. Honestly, sometimes I'm in a darker spot a lot of the game. Sometimes I got the ball in my hands. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm a screener. Sometimes I'm cutting. It's probably difficult for them to know how I am able to play in the past. So you probably have to ask a lot of those guys that. But for me personally, it's kind of varying just based on, I guess, the game itself.
Last question, Dave.
Russ, is there any rhythm or feel when the team's having a night like tonight with 5 turnovers and you have none? Where are you aware of that? That you're like, oh, as the game is going, you recognize that you guys have been maximizing your possessions. Is that like a feel?
Yeah, I'd rather get shot to the basket than turn the ball over. I know that you can see it as a team. We better take the shots and put it on the glass and have a chance to be able to get shots up instead of, we shot the ball 99 times. They only shot it 83. Like, we like that better than turn the ball over. So we at least take that more than anything else.
More to come on Access.